Welcome back to podcast 21 of season 1. Today we're going to talk about something that, you're going to enjoy this one, trust. It's going to be so tough. We're going to talk about things that tend to get in the way of obeying God when He calls you to do something. Now, for me, I don't know about you, but I'm really good at not doing, I'm a professional at not doing what God wants me to do. I'm the best in the business, bro. I'm 5-star rated, bro. You don't even understand, bro. I'm good at this. I'm a professional. And I know you probably could say the same thing about yourself, probably. If not, then you must be the GOAT or something. But for me, I'm really good at doing the exact opposite of what God wants me to do. I'm really good at it. And I'm going to share with you guys a few things that this might not apply to you, but for me, it really does. Some things that tend to get in the way of obeying God. So, start off. Number 1, we got what people think. That's number 1. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, right, I tend to care a lot more about what people will think of me if I did the right thing instead of what God would think of me. You know what I'm saying? And it really does get in the way because we often want to be approved by others, right? And if that's you, I want you to know that you're not alone, and that there are people that struggle with that. Basically everyone. And now for me, I'm still working through it, and I still struggle with this. But I'll admit that it also plays into who you surround yourself with, right? And is that a gaming chair? Hold on. I just saw a gaming chair, bro. Hold on. Anyways, right? It has a lot to do with who you surround yourself with, but that's not all of it. So, people's approval, it gets in the way of obeying God because, it feels good, there's all these extra things that come with it that make you feel good, but, deep down inside, it's not good for you at all, right? Because, I think we talked a little bit about this, but, you can't serve two masters. If you either hate one or love the other. And, yeah. Anyways, guys, we'll continue in a second, but I just stopped by a gaming chair. On the side, just on a random street, bro. I just see a gaming chair. Yeah, hold on. No, it sounds crazy, but there's literally a gaming chair, bro. Oh, hold on, I'm getting distracted. All right, hold on. All right, ignore that. Anyways, back on topic. Yeah, people's approval, it gets in the way, but it's. I feel like, yeah. Obviously, it has to do a lot with who you surround yourself with, right? If you surround yourself with people that like to do drugs, don't be too surprised if you want to fit in with them too, you know what I'm saying? So it has to do with that. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's number 1, people's approval. It gets in the way of obeying God a lot. And yeah, so we're going to continue down the list. Number 2 is fear. Okay? And fear, it also has to play with the first one we talked about, but it deserves its own category. Fear of what other people think. I mean, not just other people's approval, but fear of people and how they would respond themselves. You know what I'm saying? It really does. I feel like for me, that's the biggest one for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always what if this happens? What if they reject me? What if they think I'm stupid? What if, and then you just get so caught up in what other people think and you're just afraid of them, that you just get paralyzed and you don't do anything. And I feel like this one's probably the like the number one for me, because like if you can like just stop being afraid and like actually be bold for God and not worry about it, it just makes it so much easier. Like, not saying it won't be, and it doesn't make it like, of course it's not going to be like, the task won't change, but like you won't be afraid, you know what I'm saying? And that, for me, that's like the one that I wish I didn't have, because I struggle with this one a lot. Alright, and yeah, fear is not fun at all, bro. And there's a lot of verses in the Bible that talk about like not to be afraid. For example, you know, like, we're just, you know what I'm saying, like yeah, somebody could kill me, right? But they can't kill my soul, right? Only God can kill me and my soul, right? So if you're afraid of how people will respond, if you're trying to do the right thing for God, or if you just like don't want to be rejected, it's complete. I can understand that completely, right? And the more you try to pursue God, the worse it's going to get. But it's not. It doesn't have to be the end, because you can always bring it to God and He'll help you through it. And I want you to know that I'm no better, and I struggle with a lot of things too. Crap, my gears broke. Woo. Hold on. Yeah, ignore that. Anyways, right? You know, the Bible says, you know, fear God, right? Not man, okay? It says that a lot, and it says do not be afraid a lot of times too in the Bible. Especially when there's like angels, they always are like, oh, do not be afraid, right? And they still freak out. They probably said that for a good reason, bro. Anyways, right now, there might be a third one. Yeah, but that's like number 2 for like what keeps you away from obeying God. Oh, I know a good one. And I'll admit, all these kind of play into each other because they kind of are the same thing. But for number 3, we got hesitation, and I struggle with this one a lot too. And the Bible does say delayed obedience is still disobedience. So like, imagine trying to be on time for work, but you're always late, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you still showed up, but you're late, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. It's not good. And yeah, you for all of these, you have to bring them to God so He can help you through them, because you can't figure these out on your own. And I take that to heart, because if you don't, it's going to take forever, bro. Like you can't do this. You can't do anything on your own. And that's the truth. You really can't. None of us can. I can't. I've tried. It doesn't work. You have to bring everything to God. You have to trust that He's going to take care of it, even when you don't see the results. All right. And yeah, for number 3. For number 3, we got like, it was hesitation, right? So sometimes you get that like nudge from God that like he wants you to do something, and then you get like paralyzed. But we already talked about this. Hold on. You know, we get paralyzed because we don't have that clarity that we want, and then it's like we expect, you know, God to snap His fingers and do it for us, but we have to take the first step, you know? And that's all, you know what I'm saying? Like, the first time you do anything is probably the hardest time you're going to do it, right? Like, if it's the first time jumping out of an airplane, it's probably not going to be like, you're not going to enjoy jumping out, but you're probably going to enjoy, you know, you're probably going to enjoy it, though, I'll admit it, yeah. You know? And hesitation, all 3 of these things are really bad, right? But hesitation's pretty bad too, right? You know, that's number 3. Those are the 3 things that get in the way of obeying God. And now we're going to talk about what to do when those situations happen, right? So it's probably all three of them at once, guarantee it. But it might be just one, but those three things really get in the way of obeying God. And first off, here's what I do, right? If God calls you to do something, all right, and if you don't want to do it, I would just pray, God, please help me do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta bring everything to God. And it's hard, right? But for me, I feel like, yeah, the core root of it is fear. And it's fear. That's really what it is. The core root is fear. You know what I'm saying? You're afraid. And I'll admit, I am too. Like, and you just have to realize that, like what helps me through it is, like, what has been helping me is that, like, just realizing that, you know, the God of the universe, right? Yeah, like, literally, the God of the universe, he got this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure you're on the winning side, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, once you realize that, you know, like the God of the universe, like, you're literally the God of the universe, right? Like, I'm pretty sure he's gonna one-shot everybody. Like, I'm pretty sure you're on the winning side. You know what I'm saying? It's like, once you realize who God is and like how strong he is, you know what I'm saying? Like no one can one-shot him, bro. He's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, once you, like, set your focus on, you know, God's character and, like, who he is, it's like the fear starts to, like, melt away a little bit. And I guarantee you, as soon as you take your eyes off God, it's going to come back. And you can't overcome it on your own. You have to overcome it with God, because he already overcame it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing too hard for God, right? And I know it may seem easier just to, like, stay in your comfort zone, because I know what it's like, but the more you do it, it's like the more you miss out. You know what I'm saying? Like I know there's, you know what I'm saying, like, the more you miss out. So basically, when God calls you to be obedient, right, to do what he says, right, whatever area it is, right, just know that, you know, God wouldn't do it himself, right? And he did. He sent Jesus, okay? And throughout the process, just focus on who God is and how he's already won. And, like, you'll see how, like, those three things that we talked about kind of go away. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully this helps you out if you're struggling with that, because I know I am. And, you know, God's not gonna, like, snap his fingers and fix all your problems, right? You know, there can't be a victory without a battle, okay? And I think we have covered trust as a topic, but I don't really remember, but we'll see. And because I know last podcast we talked about it's patience, right? But yeah, hopefully this helped you if you're struggling with, like, if you're, like, afraid of obeying God. Hopefully this helps you out. So just remember who God is, and it makes it so much easier, bro. Holy cow. Like, not saying that it is going to be easier. I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Just remember who God is, and it's going to help you out a lot, right? Yeah, just don't focus on how far you have to jump. Just focus on who's asking you to jump, okay? And trust that he's going to carry you through it. Because, like, I tell you, like, if you keep looking on how much he's asking for instead of who's asking it, it's like, it just makes it so much harder. And you know, I remember in the Bible, Jesus was like, humanly speaking, it's impossible, right, to follow God, but with God all things are possible, right? So yeah, you can't do this alone, and that's, like, the whole point. And once you realize that, like, I'll tell you, I said this like 400 times, it just makes it so much easier, right? And being afraid of people, you know, like, it's completely understandable. You know what I'm saying? It really is. There's so many examples of, you know, being afraid of doing what God asks you to do in the Bible, right? But yeah, you just have to trust you have to go to God with it, basically everything, and that's how you get through it. Now, a lot of times things in life are not going to go the way you want it to, and there's sometimes, you know what I'm saying, like for me, I wanted to develop a game. I wanted to continue developing a game on this platform called Roblox. It was like if you ever been to the gym, you know there's always people in it. So basically I made this like gym game where you like lift virtual weights, and I got like 1,000 people to play the game in its prime. And I tell you, bro, I could have been like rich, bro. But I had this, during that time, I had this like feeling that, God didn't want me to do that. Yeah, I had this slight feeling that I was going the wrong way, and I like ignored it for a couple months, but eventually I listened, right? And I let it go, even though it was really hard. It really was. I'm not saying it was easy. And I'm not trying to like brag or anything, but I'm just like, I will admit though, when I'm looking back right now, it's like, dang, I'm kind of happy I gave it up, because now I'm like closer to God now than I was before. So like, you're not going to understand why God calls you to do things. Like, you won't. Sometimes maybe, sometimes not. And regardless, you still have to trust him, because you got to remember, he knows best. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy this podcast. Hopefully this helped you out, because I tell you, it really did help me out. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, it helped me out. Like, what? Yeah, it did. I mean, I want you to know, yeah, obviously following God is hard. And we've probably said that like 1,000 times already, but it really is hard. So yeah, thanks for listening. I hope this podcast helped you. Make sure to unsubscribe and never listen to this again.